Hello, Tom from FSC Culfidant community. Today I'm doing a quick demo on this property, which is maintenance and cleaning fully ready for move-in. So this particular video should be good for as a template for how confident the home should be the stage before it's able to show to the potential tenants or move in. So this is exactly the stage we should aim for. And also I'd like to show everybody what are the things need to be checked before the move in as well. So we can use this as either the readiness checklist, and also we can use this move-in inspection as well. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So today I'm doing a quick move-in inspection for this particular property, FSC 216. So let's start from the entrance area, and here is a brief view of the hallway, very well maintained condo building in Cleverview area. And the first thing we like to do is to check on all the surroundings, and the door, everything looks very well, and no visible issue here. And now let's get into the house. And there is a bit of wear and tear, which is fairly normal. Also, one thing I like to have a quick try is just take a quick video picture while I'm working through this. So the door section is pretty good, and those are pretty normal wear and tear. So the visor strip is all there, so it's pretty good. And the door is pretty solid. There's a little bit a few nails at the bottom, which is very normal. Now let's do so-called clockwise inspection. So I will start from this area. As you can see, there is a little bit of crack, which is likely the building structure related. But other than that, everything looks good. It's a little bit of paint off. Overall, as you can see, the door is in a very good, solid condition. And the door stopper is good. A little bit off, but this is fairly easy to be fixed. And also, as you can see, this is a little bit of wear and tear. Ideally, we should have a little bit of paint over to make it look nice. On the corner, as you can see, a little bit wear and tear as well. So this basically shows the condition of the entrance area, and I will just turn around to check, and I will turn on the light as well. So this is basically the area here, and now you can see with the light. I will open and close this as well, and again, as you can see, it's a very solid. Everything is in a very good condition, and here is good. The door is open and closed. A little bit scratch, but overall it's pretty decent. So nothing too obvious. So the door open and close very well. Light, we tested, works well. Cover is good. A little bit of wear and tear here. So this basically conclude the inspection of the entrance area. Now let's turn around. In this particular case, our kitchen with the clockwise direction. So as you can see, I already pulled out the stove in this kind of shape. So normally stove you can depending on the type of stove, this is what you would like to make it available. So as you can see, it's very, very clean. There's no problem. Very nice. A little bit of stain, but which is normal. And here, all the burners are being cleaned very well. The machine works well too, the light. And as you can see here, the inside is cleaned very well. So this is the condition we should have for the move-in or before you even saw the tenants. So that is absolutely the standard we should aim for as a Culfidant home. And next, as I try to do here, is to show you the back. So that is the area we should make it how clean it looks like, because it is always the area we tend to forget. Most of the time, people don't really pull this out because it's a little bit heavy. Sometimes you just simply forgot. So that is what we do to make sure the back of the stove is also cleaned. Now I just put this one back and I slightly push this one back. So the stove is in baking condition. And the hood fan here is also in good condition. So, and here, as you can see, is very nice and clean as well. Okay. So this basically conclude the area of this section. One thing I like to show you is to take a record of the model and serial number. So in case something happens, need to be fixed, those information is going to be handy as well. So now let's look at the microwave. As you can see, inside is very clean and is pretty straightforward, and also all the carbon should be checked. All those hinges need to in a good working condition. No breaking, no anything, and those knobs are working very well, which it is. And on top of the fridge, also very clean. Again, one thing you would like to check is the back of the fridge as well. Make sure there's no dust bunny. Everything looks nice and clean. Okay. So that's kind of conclude that area. Obviously, we should also open to check all those drawers, make sure they are good. And the other thing I like to make sure you check is all the edges of those countertop, the laminated countertop. Sometimes it could have the peel off broken, which need to be taken care of, because otherwise it's going to cause pretty severe water damage in the long term. Okay, so everything here looks good. The door is open closed, there's no damage on the surface, so it's good. And here, as you can see, there are a few bumps which doesn't really affect the usage of the fridge. However, this is something you should record it. So it has been regarded as moving condition. Okay. So I will also take a quick look on the inside fridge. So everything looks good. And sometimes people have the tendency to everything is good here. So I will just quickly put a pause here and put the fridge back so that I can have a better look, give you a better angle of viewing. So just be a second. Okay, so I put the fridge back again, as I explained. Everything looks good. The fridge looks pretty clean. One thing sometimes people didn't pay attention is those edges. There are a lot of food sometimes, but this one is pretty good, as you can see. They are all cleaned reasonably well, and obviously inside need to be cleaned very well. Okay, so this is the condition again. We like to take a good record of the model so that we know what it looks like when things happens. So that is pretty much conclude the inspection of the fridge. And normally this is the area. So sometimes you may need to bring a little ladder. Just make sure you can access those hard to reach area. My height is kind of slightly on the average, maybe a little bit above, but so I don't have issue normally to reach those areas. But as you can see, everything is good. The other thing you also see is on the video when we post it, there are time, exactly the date and time, even with the proper, sometimes depending on the GPS accuracy, it actually has the address as well. This is also very handy, so you know exactly when this has been taken. Okay. So in the old days, people sometimes use newspaper, but obviously in the 21st century, this little app will do the wonder. Overall, everything is good. And as you can see, those hinge all works well. One thing I learned actually just today is if something wrong with this hinge, the best way to do is to remove it and take it to Home Depot, the parts, and then make sure they are exactly matched, because those hinges are all kinds of hinge. And the other thing also good to know is when you buy hinge, you buy two, not just one. So if one damage, you have to replace two. So when you go to Home Depot, normally they sell you a pair. So you basically need to take two of them out. So sort of this is a bit little interesting knowledge to share, okay? So everything is good. Let's take a look on the drawer. A little bit of wear and tear, which is normal. Again, we could borrow some little bit of good paint to just get them looks even better. So which is going to be scheduled for the next turn around, I guess. One important thing in the kitchen with the plumbing is quite often than not, people tends to have issues with those drains. So as a good start, we should provide our tenants a proper cleared plumbing system. The way we tested it is to have the water fully open. Let it run for 30 seconds on the full capacity. And if there's no water backup or anything in that nature, it means this plumbing system starts as a clean, clear, and fluent system. So there's nothing wrong with that system. So let's just let it run. The other good thing also is we could check and see if there is any issue with leaking. So you just simply put your hands there at those lower points and to check to see if there's any water. So it's pretty intuitive. It's nothing really special. The other thing good to know is to take some pictures so that if there's any work done, you know there are isolation valve to simply isolate and make the exchange. Okay, so in our case, everything looks very good. So now 30 seconds pass. Let's move to this side. The other thing also you want to know, make sure is those the sink stoppers are available for the tenants, obviously. And also good thing to know is those areas are no leaking and it's very solid. And the other good part is if you have, normally they have their own plastic seal already, but put a little bit of caulking will help. So now 30 seconds pass. As you can see, everything flowed very well. So we don't have any issue. Let's just put this one back. And that's conclude the inspection for this area. So we put this one away because this is nothing to do with the house here. And overall, as you can see, there is a little bit of cracking. So we could borrow some caulking in the future, but it's something good to know to take good. But also you can see the countertop is very clean. Just in case I didn't check this part, I think I did. But if I'm not, I do it again. So I just put it back. Okay, so this kind of conclude all the inspection on that countertop. The very last thing I like to do is this dishwasher. So dishwasher, as you can see, also you want to clean them very good. And one thing you like to do is there is a filter in the back. So just make sure everything is being cleaned. So it smells fresh, it's ready to use, so on. Okay. And here is another thing, as we all do for all of our appliances, is to take a good picture of the serious number, just in case. So this dishwasher is not anything fancy, but is in good working condition, is in clean condition. So we will just leave it as it is, okay? So it's a Whirlpool, it's good. Anyway, so we did our inspection, and also the very last thing you want to do is the flooring. One thing we noticed right away, as you can see, this is peeled off a little bit. I think we could do one of two things at this point. One is to have it glued back, make sure it's been taken care of, which we will make arrangement. But at the same time, at least in the inspection process, you need to record it. So here is another thing you can see. Normally, the panel like this is some sort of access panel for certain purpose. So I will open it up and just do a quick check to find out what it is and make a note on this. So I will put the video on pause for seconds and then go after. So as you can see, I took this cover off, and it looks like they have some sort of plumbing connection being put on here. It could be even for the condo building. So I don't really know exactly what it is for, but it's always good to take a note and make a record here. So I will pause the video and put it back again. So we finish this part again. As you may see, there is a bit of wear and tear on the bottom, which we take a good note. So overall, I will just take a good picture. And as you can see, the light up on top is also good. Everything here looks pretty decent in the kitchen area. And one thing is, this is the key we are going to put in the lockbox for the tenants to access, but we took a picture for this side. So before I go further, as you may see, one thing I would recommend is to bring a pair of shoe covers just like this. So make sure when you step on very clean area, there is no any footprint or anything. It just I sometimes I notice people just wear socks but took shoes off, which is fine. But this will avoid any direct connection, right? If you don't have this, no problem. Just bring a brand new pair of socks before you step onto the carpet, okay? Which has been professionally cleaned already. So let's step into this living room area. This is basically the small dining room, nice and cozy. And overall, I'm going to take a good picture of it. have an overall look, but it looks pretty decent. Now let's get closer to take a look. Here is the thermostat, which looks in pretty good shape. Light all works very well, so this is good. And I'm trying to check to see the paint condition is in decent condition. Small chips off, which like this is to be recorded. But if you have a chance to make a touch up, do it, because it will make things a lot, looks very much good. And here is a little chip off and a few dents here and there. And if you look under the angle, I'm not sure if this picture will show, but you can see there are a few spots, it's a bit not that even. But if you look from different angles, this whole thing looks fine. So I think this is the dining room area. The carpet is being professionally cleaned. Looks decent overall. Now let's move to the living room area. So I will again do a quick shot overall. As you can see, it's all in pretty decent, good condition. And if you go along the edge clockwise, the paint looks decent. There is a small chip here. Plug, everything looks good. And overall looks pretty. Here is a small chip here. Okay. And as you can see, the carpet is very clean. This is all being cleaned very well. So before I pull this out, I will show the overall condition of this blind. It all looks pretty good. The only thing we notice is one piece missing. Okay. It doesn't really hurt anything, but if we could find a replacement, we should. But at least we should make a note so that the coming in tenant will not be held responsible or anything like that. Okay, so now let's do a quick check. Make sure this all moving parts looks good. I like to take a look on the color, because sometimes you can buy a piece of this to replace one. I think this is pretty simple white color. So that should be good. This is also cleaned. One thing you may want to check is those doors. And the other thing is important is to make sure those screens are in good condition. Okay. So this is basically the screen. As you can see, there's no broken part. You know what? There is a little bit of edge here. So in this nature, we should be able to do a quick fix, just cut by little piece. We will see if this can be done. I think this can. So we will have this taken care of, but other than that, it's all good. And the door here locked very well. So one thing I do want to share with everybody is sometimes you will notice one good practice is everything you need to test them out. In this case, it looks decent, but when you're trying to open it, it's actually very difficult. There's something stuck at the bottom which need to be taken care of. So by doing this inspection, we know this is going to be something to be fixed, which we are going to send people to get that taken care of. So this is going to be the after move-in. Okay, so one thing we do know is the, one thing you do know is the balcony, which is the condo area, looks pretty decent condition. So we will continue move on light here, which basically test the outside. And from my angle, you can see it starts working, so which is good. And there's a little nail like that. There must be another one which is like that. And there is a bit edge, as you can see. So it looks like used to be that kind of blinds, but now it's been changed into vertical, which is way better. Overall, this is good. And we know there are few nails, as you can see. I will move my video along. So the color does, but here you can see it's all very clean. Okay, so the carpet is good, and also the wall is pretty decent. So this basically conclude the inspection. One thing I like to do is take a good picture of this, because sometimes you can see those things can be cracked. So when you have a picture, you know exactly what it is in different units, and it's easy to replace. And the same thing goes here as well. Okay. So this basically conclude the inspection for the living room. Before we go further, we will turn around and look at the kitchen on this side. Everything looks fine. It's a little bit wear and tear on this angle, but overall it's good. One thing I want to show you is the nature of this kind of countertop. You will notice this part is peeled off a little bit, right? So I found it is quite common for this type of countertop. So it should be recorded, and we need to find some way to get them back. But at least at this point, we should record it and make a note on this. So I think, let me just go along this way. Yeah, all the way to here is all been peeled off, okay? So this is something we need to figure out a way to taking care of. Other than that, I think we conclude the inspection for this area. Let's just take a quick picture here. And now, keep going the counter the clockwise. This is a storage area. Okay, so this again like a little individual little room, but we got a pretty good storage here. And I do notice this cover is actually for the shut-off valve. So again, I like to take it off and make a good picture and take a good record. So as you can see, there are two valves here, which you can shut off if you need to do any job in this unit, which is important. So we should know exactly what they are and the location in case we need to do any maintenance and repair. So now we have everything taken care of here. Now just take a look. There is a little bit of chip. So in the future, if we need to do the paint, so we can just do a quick fix and then paint it over. It will looks very good. But overall, this area is very good. Light works perfect. One thing we should record, a little bit stain, a little bit of few wear and tear at the corner, which is pretty normal. Plug is fine. There is one cover is missing. We should do that. Get a piece of covering, which should be done shortly after we do the inspection. Okay. So in this particular case, our tenant won't move in until the end of September. So we do have a few days to come back based on this inspection to get whatever the situation can be taken care of to resolve. So this is one of the things we can do. Other than that, it's very good. This is very solid, no problem. Door open, close, very nicely, no issue at all. See, this situation we could do a very quick painting or make it look much nicer. So which is going to be part of the work we can do. Overall, I think this is very decent, good. And now let's go into the bedroom, because this is one bedroom condo unit. And we do a quick light test. It's all working very well. And let's go in. And as you can see, the door frame. So normally we do a quick overall picture and video, and then we go detail, okay? So the door frame looks good. Nothing really wrong here. Door knobs works very well. Open and close very, very well. Okay, so this is good. Again, pretty normal situation. Door is good. Stopper is working. We got condo's fire alarm. Don't touch it. And we got light, works very well. And I noticed this one bedroom is actually quite large. So very easy to put a king size bed, which is great. Overall, this area is the closet. So again, I will do what I call overall look. So this is the overall checking first. I look around and give it a good look. Now I start from the entrance. Again, the carpet was being cleaned very well. However, there is a stain which happens sometimes at the entrance, and we can see there is a small dent on the baseboard. But other than that, everything looks good. The paint inside of the closet is very nice and clean. The door open and closed very well. Okay, so this is a very nice slider for the door, which really allows, and this is good too. I really like what I see here. So let's just turn it open, and notice there's a few dents along the side, which is fairly normal. Okay, so this basically conclude this area, and let's take a look. Paint is fine. This wall is good. Let's check on the blinds, make sure they are working properly. Okay, so yeah, all works great. Okay, so this is clean, and as you can see, we normally also do a quick check on the window slide, in and out perfectly fine. And also, as you can see, the screen is fine. Normally, we do not do the outside cleaning for the safety of the cleaning staff. Okay, so that's basically the situation. A little bit edge, which is normal. On the wall, there are 3 touch-ups, which you can see recorded as it is. We got this. Other than that, I think this room is pretty much it. So it's in good, decent condition, and been taken care of very well. So now let's go into this very next one. I believe is washer and dryer. Again, the door open and close very well. And let's take an overall look. So it's all cleaned and nice. Sometimes you will notice area like this was very dirty, that need to be cleaned, just like this. Okay. And here, another thing people tends to forget is this one, right? You need to get this cleaned, and also it's always a good idea to have some quick video to show the tenants make sure this is being cleaned every single time after they do their load. You will notice some people who are new to Canada not necessarily know this is something they should do every single load. It's nothing about people, it's just you don't really know before, right? It's not something you grew up with. So we just need to be a bit patient and kindly tell the people what that is. Okay, so that concludes the inspection for here. Again, if I go closer, as you can see, it's very clean. No any problem here. Again, if we go into this area, let's just do a quick check. So here is another area clockwise. We go into the bathroom. The bathroom entrance, before we do that, let's again do an overall check. This is the door frame and everything at entrance. I will go in. And as you can see, this is very solid. This is light is all good. We will do the test on the plumbing shortly. There is the overall condition. Okay, so now let's go back at the entrance. So I will check on the door frame first. As you can see, there are a slight wear and tear, which is very easy to be touched up. So, but here is one thing, if we can do, we should make sure this is being fixed. So I take a few pictures and make a note, and we'll arrange. So this is that, and let's go in. Works very well. And this is good. This is good. And let's do the test as a water test. At the same time, I think this is good. We could use some caulking here as well. But overall, it looks good. I think the underneath, I think there are two isolation valves, good to replace. The knob is very good. This is very solid. As you can see, it's a little bit peeled off, so just need to take a good note here. No water backup, so anything is very good. So that is a good plumbing system. Here is very nice and clean. And this is the toilet. As you can see, they are all very nice and clean. This is very solid, no shaking. So normally we do a quick check. And as you can see, the valve behind is good. There is no leaking. And this is the corner. Normally could borrow some caulking. I think they are in good condition here as well. Overall, here is good. Very nice and clean. There is a nail section. The fan is working. Okay, so this is good. This is good. Now let's turn on. Make sure the water flows well. And this is good. Okay, so I will do a quick test on the up. All good. And again, as you can see, water flush very well. There's no backup. Again, we need to have so-called 30 seconds. So that's why I will let this water keep running for 30 seconds. And then I will come back. So while it's running, I'm doing a quick check on everything here. The other thing I like to make sure is we do have this rod, but this one is actually optional. So in this particular case, we have it, so be it. But sometimes if you don't, you don't. So you want to make sure this is something you want to provide so that tenants can have it. I think 30 seconds passed, no problem. There's no leaking, no backup, so everything is good. I think there is one last thing I should do is do a quick test on this. What they call the GDI, the anti-ground tripping system. Okay, so now we finished the inspection for the bathroom, and here is the entrance. So we just do a quick on the ground. Everything looks good. And I think we did this part as well. Everything is good. So door open, close well. Other than that, I think this concludes overall inspection. So it's take about 40 minutes. But you have very solid, good record of pretty much everything about this house. Thank you so much.